high above snowy Arrowhead Stadium in KC. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Kansas City Chiefs. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. He can't get him down.
But that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Yellow. Check back, check back. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Hey, 57 colors, 57 colors. General, west.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Yellow.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Keep it up, guys. 50, yellow. Quick edge. H3, 218. Chopper.
A run for Nick Chubb. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 buds. Attack! He's coming. We got double up.
Now Chubb. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Here's Watkins on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is third and short. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. That would complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line.
Hey, 0-0.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Check. Go. Check 24. Look for signal. Fourteen. Preload.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast. But a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one short.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. On play action, it's Mahomes. Rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Watch the twist.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for KC. 56 yards. That pass was heavily defended on 3rd down, but you know what? He's one of the best in the league at body control, and he showed you why there.
So what that tells you is that the guy throwing the football understands his guys, doesn't he? Give them a chance, put it up there, and realize that even in a battle, they're more than likely to come down with the football.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
36 power.
They run. Cook. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
15. Chopper. Check 13.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. They run again on first down, Chubb. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They go play fake. Mahomes out to his left. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Kill, 43. Kill. Turn up.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. The open man is Smith. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. He'll get the first. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
15. Slam.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Rolling to his right. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, as the first half is winding down, and the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. So we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2.
All day, baby, all day.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Throws right side, and that's complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Well, here's a first down throw that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Wilson going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play. But Mark Brunell, when he was at Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy's on fire.
12 yards there and a first down. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10.
Check.
To throw again is Wilson. Flushed out right. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Bang, 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 bang. Yellow. Slit.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, 57, 57. Patchy. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
A 48-yard attempt.
And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Check.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They run it again with Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Partner, I know the ball securities preach like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Mike Fogo. 6-man.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Wilson now 15 out of 17 through the air with 2 incompletions. It's first down. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And he'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown on the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Here's Wilson. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Going up top. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Look. Tempo. Mike's 50. I got you.
They start the drive with Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Zebra.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Inside the 35. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Jaguars first down.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Handoff comes to Cook, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run with Cook, and a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They try again with Cook. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for our visitors, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Y'all already know what time it is, Playing skills, you did, Playing skills.